Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Salem. And today is Father's Day, so I want to wish everyone in our audience a happy Father's Day. And I'd particularly like to wish a happy Father's Day to those who are fathers or those who had fathers. And I think most of us fit under one or the other of those two categories. Uh, in the Wiccan religion, we differ from certain other religions, which shall be nameless, in that we regard deity as both masculine and feminine, and in that we regard the balance between these two qualities as being very important. Um, this is certainly true in the religion itself and in ritual, um, where the relationship between goddess and god is normally portrayed as being of an egalitarian nature and a balance. But it's also true in our personal lives as a community. Certain communities out there have very rigid ideas of gender and gender roles, which is not true in the Wiccan religion, where these roles tend to be very fluid, as certainly is the more natural case. Um, I was reading an article recently where I was struck by the insular tone of the reporter. And goddess help me, I was reading the front page of AOL. I must have been having a very slow day that day. But this reporter was criticizing some celebrity mother for the fact that her child um, was not dressing in the stereotype of their gender. I don't remember now if it was a little boy with longer hair or a little girl who was dressed in more masculine clothes. It doesn't really matter because both would be the same point. But the author just seemed to think that this would terribly warp the poor child who would never know their place in the world and blah, 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 blah. And, I've got to tell you, I remember back in the 70s and the 80s when it was very common for little boys to have long hair, very common for little girls to dress in more or less unisex styles. Um, and it didn't seem to hurt anybody. Certainly, if you look back through history, you see a pretty wide range of costumes in this regard. In fact, it wasn't that long ago that it was customary for little boys and little girls to dress almost identically up to a certain age. In fact, I have photos of my own father, who, for the first, I think, 3 years of his life, was dressed that way. Not dressed as a girl exactly, the costumes were unisex. Um, but it's been a widespread custom around the world. And so it surprises me that there are people out there who have such rigid ideas, but I suppose part of that is the religion because, our religion, our ideas just aren't that rigid, nor our behaviors. And the idea of a balance between masculine and feminine, not only within the religion itself and its rituals, but also within each individual, is considered very important. And the whole idea of conforming to outward stereotypes, for the most part, is not. And personally, I think that's a great strength that we have. So that's my soapbox for today, and I hope that you have a wonderful Father's Day. And until next time, may you blessed be.